The first big winter storm of the year is on its way, and it's bringing a lot of snow. Arkansas and even the Ohio Valley. That's still a big question right now. One forecast model shows a major ice storm from Arkansas all the way to Kentucky, and then into Ohio and West Virginia, and even Pennsylvania. This would almost certainly close schools in many places on Tuesday. But it's not yet certain that the ice will cover such a large area. The forecast from the National Weather Service is for more specific areas, mainly in Arkansas, eastern Kentucky, and West Virginia. This is especially true over in the Appalachian Mountains, where we might see cold air get trapped. But looking back at Arkansas, that is where there is a better chance for a glaze of ice. It's possible we could see up to 1/10 of an inch of ice there. And this storm will have all the signs of a classic nor'easter. Heavy snow blown by strong winds. If you are in Arkansas, please pay close attention to the weather on Monday, as many roads may not be treated. This is especially true for side roads, which could become very slick in a hurry. I also believe the ice probably won't be as widespread as some forecasts show. I think if ice does start to build up, it will most likely be in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. We will likely have another video update either tonight or tomorrow with more information. So, make sure you subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you get that latest update. Now, for the Northeast, it is a different story. I do expect we will see a widespread 3 to 6 inches of snow across most of Pennsylvania, as well as New York and New England. Road conditions getting worse very quickly, and possible flooding and beach damage along the coast. There will likely be a few spots that get closer to 8 to 10 inches of snow, especially where the snow will be heaviest in places like southern New Hampshire and southern Maine, and also in central and western Massachusetts. It shows about the same thing as the computer model, the one I just showed you, but it does point out a few spots that could get even more snow. Those areas could see about 8 to 9 inches of snow over in northeast Pennsylvania and southeast New York. So to put it plainly, yes, there is a chance for a winter storm, but generally, this is going to be a very fast-moving nor'easter. It does not look to be nearly as serious as the forecast were showing a couple of days ago. The snow could fall as fast as 3 inches an hour at times. If anything big changes in the next 24 hours, we'll be sure to give you another update. So make sure you're subscribed to our channel. For this storm coming on Monday into Tuesday, we are expecting at least some small problems for travelers. This will be from Kansas all the way over to Pennsylvania in the Northeast. If you're in the orange-colored area on the map, that's where bigger travel delays are possible. That will mostly be across northeastern Pennsylvania. A couple of other spots like Little Rock and Fort Smith could also have travel troubles on Monday. That would be because of ice building up on the roads. So stay with us. We will have updates on our social media pages like Facebook and Twitter. Our page is called Max Velocity W, making it very hard to see and creating dangerous driving conditions. You can find the links to our social media in the description below this video. Now, looking past this winter storm, we are going to have a few more weather issues toward the middle and end of the week. This winter weather will move out of the area late Tuesday and into Wednesday. One other thing to mention is that this nor'easter will bring pretty strong winds to the northeast. So, as a heads up, wind gusts around 30 to 45 miles per hour are possible on Monday and Tuesday. For Wednesday and Thursday, high pressure will settle in along the East Coast. We'll see a little snow in the Rockies and the upper Midwest. As for how much snow, we don't really expect much from this, at least nothing serious. We might see an inch or two, and travel may become impossible. So in this forecast, but that's really nothing compared to what we've seen over the past few days. We might see some snow in the Northeast from Wednesday into Thursday. It won't be a big storm, just some light snow. Then, late Thursday into Friday, some strong storms could flare up again along the Gulf Coast. We'll need to watch for heavy flooding rain along the Gulf Coast on Thursday and Friday. So please be careful. Then, as we head into the weekend, Friday through Sunday, there is a very Very small chance right now that some winter weather could affect the mid-Atlantic region. A lot of cold air is moving into the country right now, so many of you woke up to the chill this morning. It's quite cold, and I'm afraid that chill is going to stick around. We're going to explain what you need to know about this coming storm and how it could affect your plans early next week. So we'll need to watch just how cold it gets over the next several days. And with all the moisture coming from the Gulf, that cold air could cause some winter weather farther south later this week. So it's certainly a possibility for later in the week. But I doubt it will be as dramatic as some of the weather models are predicting. Now, looking ahead to next weekend and the start of the following week, the forecast is less clear. One model suggests another nor'easter for Sunday and Monday. If that does happen, we'll just have to wait and see what it brings. But for now, it's simply too far out to know for sure. I can tell you one thing for sure, though. And before we get into the details of the nor'easter, the weather is going to stay very busy for the next couple of weeks. Even though we don't see a big winter storm in the forecast after this Tuesday, I believe we'll see at least 2 more storms before Christmas. And after Christmas, things will stay busy through January and February. That's pretty typical for this time of year. So be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all this winter weather. Looking at temperatures, it's going to be chilly across much of the country for the next 7 to 10 days. Right now, a large mass of cold air is pushing down toward the Gulf Coast states. It's going to be very cold in the Central Plains, the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast all the way through Monday and Tuesday. I want to mention that yesterday's winter storm in the Midwest was one for the history books. Then by Wednesday and Thursday, that blast of cold air will move on over into New England. Then by Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like more cold air is on its way. This next cold spell will really be felt in the Midwest and the Great Lakes area, and in the Northeast on Thursday. So the Northeast is going to stay quite chilly. And then, by next weekend, it's happening all over again. Another round of cold is headed for the Northern Plains, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley. We will likely see more cold weather during the second week of December. So it feels like a never-ending cycle of cold air coming through the country this December. This is certainly one of the most active starts to winter that we've seen in many years with all this snow and cold air. Many places like Des Moines and over in St. And the Climate Prediction Center completely agrees that we will continue to see colder than usual temperatures across the Midwest, the Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic, at least through the first week of December. And they say warmer temperatures are likely for the Rockies, the West Coast, and also down in the Southeast. Now, I have 2 important things to tell you. First, I am going to be on vacation for the next 7 days. This is the only vacation I'm taking all year, and I really have not had a proper break in a long time. So I will be away for the next 7 days. However, I plan to still post a video every day if the internet on my cruise works well. I'll be on a cruise ship. The storm system is going to get much stronger as it moves quickly up the East Coast. Lewis received some of the highest amounts of snow. The Wi-Fi on board can be very unreliable. So I'm not sure what to expect. I will keep you all updated right here on YouTube. And of course, if a video goes up tomorrow, you'll know everything is working just fine. It will mean I have internet and can get the videos to you. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. And the other important news is that our Black Friday sale on shopmaxilocity.net is about to end. That's the first link you'll see in the description below. If you use the code Black Friday, you'll get $5 off an order of $50 or more. We have our new cheese curd collection, which is named after my cat, available now in our store. We also have our Supercell collection, Happy Holidays items, and a lot of other nice things they have ever seen in a single day in November. Just a friendly reminder, if you want your order to be delivered before Christmas, you'll want to order it in the next 1 or 2 weeks to make sure it arrives on time. Thank you all so much for watching. As a reminder, we'll be back in the studio in about 1 week. But until then, we should still have new videos for you every single day. They'll just be from a different location. So, thank you again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you all in the next video. In Des Moines, they got about 1 foot of snow, which is one of the top 5 snowiest November days on record. And over in St. Louis, they got much more snow than expected. Many areas reported around 8 inches of snow. So far, the highest amount of snow reported was a little over 15 inches near Fort Dodge, Iowa. And even in Chicago, they got more than we thought, with nearly a foot of snow in some spots. If you know your snow totals, please let me know down in the comments. I'm very interested to hear how much snow you got in your town. Now let's talk more about this approaching storm. This storm could bring heavy snow all the way from Ohio to Maine. I want to start with what is happening this morning. We still have some snow coming down in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Later on this morning, we'll keep an eye on some lake effect snow over in western and northern Michigan. However, it will only be in a few small spots. So, most of Michigan won't see much more snow today. This afternoon and evening, some snow will fall way up in northern New England. But for the most part, we're only forecasting about 3 to 6 inches of snow. As we move into tonight and tomorrow, you might think things are going to quiet down, but they're not. We have 2 different weather systems that will join together tomorrow. We're expecting a large area to get 4 to 8 inches of snow. We have some snow that will be coming right over the Rocky Mountains. That's one patch of wet weather. And then we have another one coming up from the Gulf. These 2 systems will merge into one late on Monday. Before that happens, though, we will see some light snow through the morning in parts of Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska. A little freezing rain is possible in far northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, and southwestern Missouri. That's a real concern because any freezing rain or sleet could lead to ice building up. And please keep in mind, it doesn't take much freezing rain to make the ground icy. But the bigger worry is that a smaller area could get a whole foot of snow if the storm follows a specific path. With temperatures this cold, just a few drops can cause ice to form on the ground. And that's why this is so worrisome, especially since the roads in some of these areas may not have been treated yet. So please be careful. For Monday afternoon, we'll continue to see some light snow across Illinois and back toward Kansas. A little bit of freezing rain is possible in southern and central Missouri and also in northwestern Arkansas. So some ice could build up there. Late Monday, we're going to see those 2 weather systems start to combine, creating a much larger winter storm as we go into Monday night. The snow should start to cover a wider area across the Ohio Valley. Cities like Albany, Worcester. I expect the snow to cover all of Ohio by that time. In Indiana and northern Kentucky as well. Freezing rain is possible from northeast Arkansas to western Kentucky, with a lot of rain across the southeast. We might see a couple of strong storms too. As we head into tonight, the snow will start to cover a much larger area. We're going to see heavy snow across Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, as well as Pennsylvania and New York. However, this snow will be moving through very quickly. This is a very fast-moving winter storm. So for that reason, most of these places won't actually get a lot of snow. The winter storm we had yesterday was much slower than this one, and Boston could see the heaviest snowfall, depending on where the storm hits the hardest, and it covered a bigger area. This one will move very quickly from west to east. So most areas will only have snow for about 3 to 6 hours. By Tuesday morning, that heavy snow will be covering the northeast across New York and most of New England. In fact, the only places in New England I think will miss the snow are southern Connecticut, southern Rhode Island, and Cape Cod. There's a chance for ice to build up in areas like Maryland and West Virginia, and maybe even high up in the mountains of far northeastern Tennessee. By lunchtime on Tuesday, heavy snow will be falling across most of New England, New York, and Pennsylvania, and far northern New Jersey. Then by Tuesday evening, most of the snow will be ending. Also, this winter storm might bring something that the last one did not. The only snow left will be around and just north of the Boston area, stretching back through Maine, with maybe a little left in Connecticut. And there could be some light snow Tuesday night across the northern plains and the upper Midwest, but it really shouldn't amount to much. Now, let's talk about how much snow and ice you can expect. I'll start with the snowfall amounts. This is the latest forecast from the National Weather Service, and you'll notice that generally we are not expecting a foot or more of snow anywhere in the Ohio Valley. Again, this is a very quick-moving storm, and it will also be fairly weak when it moves through the Ohio Valley. That means there's a risk of ice building up in parts of Oklahoma, but I do think a total of 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 inches is reasonable for most of Ohio and Indiana. And Pennsylvania are also expecting snow. Some local spots might get even more. But for the most part, the amount of snow in these places won't be very much. To be honest, I think the forecast might be for a little too much snow. I'm not so sure we will actually get that much. We will have to wait and see what the weather maps show tonight. But I do believe that areas from Kansas City over to central Illinois could possibly get a coating of 1 to 2 inches and maybe even up to 4 inches in a few spots. But overall, the snowfall should be pretty light. The possibility of ice is one of the bigger worries.